What up, Hype Squad? It's your boy Lucrecio coming at you with another video. And if you're new to the page, I want to welcome you to exceedthehype.com to join the Hype Squad. All you got to do is click subscribe, all right? So today's video are the top 5 reasons Kyrie Irving left LeBron James. Now, it's the biggest news going on right now. Kyrie Irving did a first take interview, and it wasn't even an interview. It was like he was a co-host of the show the whole hour and a half or whatever. And they tried to interview him multiple times about the real reason he's leaving the Cavaliers. Now, he did give some vague answers, but ultimately it seemed like he just was trying to steer the conversation into what he wanted to say, which was it was his own truth and he was doing what was right for him and things of that nature. And of course, first take skewed it every single question towards something about LeBron. The whole interview was basically about LeBron. And I'm gonna try to give you 5 actual reasons, 5 legit reasons why he may have wanted to leave the Cavaliers situation, and all of them are not based around LeBron James and LeBron James only. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a LeBron James hater or anything like that. I think LeBron James is as close to basketball purity as you will ever see when you take the athleticism, the skill, the approach to the game, and the basketball intellect, and mix it together in a perfect storm. I think that's LeBron James's game. So I'm not hating on LeBron in any way, shape, or form. But here are the 5 reasons why Kyrie Irving left LeBron. All right. Reason number 5 is the negative media attention associated with being LeBron James's teammate. So what happens a lot of the time is, since LeBron James is such a great player and he has these outstanding finals performances where he has these eye-popping stats and things of that nature, a lot of the time when it comes time to critique, okay, what happened? Why did the Cavaliers lose? Why did they lose this series? You start looking at stats, you start looking at, key performances and things of that nature. And then when you see LeBron, you're like, oh, he had 40 points this game. Oh, he had, 38 points and 12 assists and 14 rebounds or something like that. He averaged a triple-double for the series, or he led every player in the series in every major category. He has these feats that he does every single finals, basically. And then when it comes time to think about, okay, well, why did they lose? You look at that, you look at the stats, you look at the performances, and you're like, okay, well, they lost, but it wasn't because of that guy. So then you start looking over here to Kyrie and Kevin Love and J.R. Smith and whoever else, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, this wasn't good here. The negative media attention, even though LeBron gets a lot of negative press, as well, but it's usually, silly type analyst or whatever. But what happens is you start looking at the teammates, and when you look at the teammates, the main person who pops out first is going to always be Kyrie Irving, as long as he's on that team. And even though Kyrie Irving also has good performances, there's always going to be certain plays or whatever that people are going to point out. And because you're going to look at LeBron, you're going to look at, oh, he played so great, and then you're going to start poking holes in the teammates. And that negative media attention, like it's your fault, Kyrie, and this and that and this and that, that's also something that I believe ran Kyrie out of Cleveland, and a reason why Kyrie Irving left LeBron. All right, reason number 4. Kyrie Irving may have wanted to leave LeBron and the Cavaliers because the Cavaliers are just so freaking predictable on offense. Now, even though they're predictable, it's still very difficult to stop, mainly because of the main instigators of their offense or whatever. Like, for instance, with LeBron, you can try to stay in front of him. You can't. His first step will get you every time. When you collapse on him, the court vision will find the corners, the corner shooters or whatever. He'll make the right pass. They'll get a good shot most of the season, most possessions or whatever. Kyrie Irving, he's too shifty. He's too unorthodox. The way he shifts his body and things of that nature, you can't stay in front of him once again. And he has a good enough basketball IQ to make the right play, or if he does not see the right play necessarily, he is an amazing finisher at the basket or whatever with all his craftiness, as is LeBron. LeBron's obviously, up there as well when it comes to finishing at the basket. So it's difficult to stop anyway, even though it's very predictable, even though you know what they're going to do. You always know what they're going after offensively. It's not going to be a whole lot of off the ball screens and a whole lot of movements and a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that. It's going to be a whole lot of spot up shooters, spotting up in the corners and things of that nature. But even though you know what's coming, it's difficult to stop until they get to the finals and they play against a team like Golden State and they get smoked, because just Golden State is playing at a different level, so to speak, than the Cavaliers. Even though the Cavaliers probably have, exceptional talent in Kyrie, LeBron, Kevin Love, and some of the other guys they have or whatever, Golden State just plays at a completely different level. They have tremendous talent as well, with Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson, and to a slightly lesser degree Draymond or whatever. But on top of that, they have a full offense with, Princeton concepts in their offense, a bunch of movement. You have to guard everybody every second of the possession because everybody has a job to do. It's difficult, right? Cavaliers is not nearly as difficult. Their offense is very predictable. They do kind of the same type of stuff all the time, and they just base their success on their really outstanding players. In my opinion, Kyrie Irving just may have been tired of that. He may see the future of the NBA with him being involved or whatever as having elite talent along with an elite system. That's why he was interested in San Antonio. Apparently, that's why he's interested in Boston. Tyronn Lue himself said that the actual system, the actual offensive sets that Boston uses are actually more complex, more complicated, more difficult to guard than the concepts in Golden State's offense. It's just Boston didn't have players as good as the players on Golden State. So I believe Kyrie Irving also looked at that. He looked at somebody like Steph Curry, who he himself probably feels like, even though Steph Curry may be better, he's in that class. I believe he thinks that. And part of the reason he wanted to leave is to be in an elite system to kind of even the playing field a little bit more and to utilize his skill set more effectively under the coaching of like a Brad Stevens or Greg Popovich or whoever, Eric Spoelstra or whatever the case may be. Reason number 3 is I personally believe Kyrie Irving may feel that he's being underrated by his basketball contemporaries. So his other star players and all-star player and superstar caliber players, I don't really feel like Kyrie Irving gets the same type of respect as those guys do. So when you look at Kyle Lowry, not that many people really think Kyle Lowry is better than Kyrie Irving, but I feel like Kyle Lowry gets more respect or whatever. Even some of the quotes. So after the Cavs swept the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs, what did they say? They didn't say, oh, they won because they have Kyrie and LeBron, or how are you going to stop Kyrie and LeBron? No, they said, well, we would have won if we would have had LeBron James on our team as well. To me, that's kind of a shot at Kyrie. It's like, well, the rest of those guys aren't that good. It's just because they got LeBron. That's why they're dominant. There was also quotes from Damian Lillard, somebody who I feel like gets more respect than Kyrie Irving. There was quotes from, there was a number of people. And I just feel like Kyrie Irving may feel, that he's being underrated by most of his other star, contemporaries in the NBA. And it's on him to want to prove it. And I think that's another reason that doesn't necessarily have to do with LeBron directly, why he wants to go ahead and carve out his own niche or carve out his own legacy or whatever you want to call it on another team. In this case, the Boston Celtics. All right. Reason number 2. So Kyrie Irving's dad's name is Drederick Irving. All right. And he was also a basketball figure in the city of Boston. He played for Boston University. He was a star player. His number was retired. The number 11 was retired at Boston University. In a couple ways, Kyrie Irving's family's basketball legacy is in Boston. For him to go to Boston, where the number 11 is honoring his dad, because his dad also tried out for the Boston Celtics and it didn't work. He wasn't able to make the team. And now Kyrie Irving gets the opportunity to be the star of the same team that his father tried and, didn't quite make. Also, once again, his dad is kind of, a local celebrity or whatever the case may be because of his days playing college basketball, making that team proud. And now Kyrie Irving will be the big man in Boston. It's just kind of the perfect type of situation for that family as far as Drederick and Kyrie Irving are concerned. They both number 11, they both star of a Boston team. And to take it up a step further, Drederick tried to make the team, couldn't make it. Kyrie Irving, the star, the king of that team. It sounds like a fairy tale type ending for Kyrie Irving. Now, once again, that is another reason that has absolutely nothing to do with LeBron. It has everything to do with Kyrie Irving. It has to do with him honoring his dad, which his dad is super important to him. And I'm sure his dad is ecstatic about it as well. So, once again, it didn't really it has stuff to do with LeBron and the Cavaliers or whatever, but as Kyrie Irving was saying, it really had to do with him and his happiness and his truth, right? But obviously that's not the sexy media story, all right? Reason number 1. Kyrie Irving's game was held back by LeBron James. It was, okay? Now, I'm not saying LeBron wasn't a good teammate and they didn't get along and all this other crap that people are making it out to be. But if you look at just the basics of basketball or whatever, of that team, Kyrie Irving is not going to be able to be an elite point guard. He can be an elite player, but he's not going to be an elite point guard playing next to LeBron James. It's just not going to happen. Reason why: LeBron James is a control freak. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Typically, a lot of point guards are control freaks, especially old school type point guards. Now, basically, he'll give you a chance to play the point guard position and he'll play off ball. But what happens is if you start making a whole lot of bad decisions and the offense is not rolling, over a course of a couple games, the offense is not rolling like it's supposed to, like him and the coach have decided, then you're gonna get bumped. And that's exactly what happened. He tries to relinquish control of the ball, but ultimately, if Kevin Love's not getting involved enough, or this is not happening, or the ball isn't moving like it's supposed to, you're gonna start seeing that 6'11", 6'10" dude go get the ball and dribble it up court again and put the team in its offense. You're just gonna always see it regress back to that, unless he plays with a point guard that he can really, really trust, which I don't know who that is. Obviously, Kyrie Irving wasn't that guy. Now, we saw at the beginning of the year, Kyrie Irving had a lot of the ball handling duties, had the ball in his hands more. He was averaging more points and everything. And as the season progressed, it ended up regressing right back to LeBron James being the main ball handler, the main playmaker, putting the team in its sets a lot of the time. It ended up being like something like a 55-45 type of split, but still, for a small forward or whatever, that's a lot of ball handling, right? That's a lot of possessions that he's putting the team in the offense. So with that being the case, I mean, it's just simple, really. Like, Kyrie Irving could not be an elite point guard playing next to somebody who has those type of playmaking abilities, who has that basketball IQ, who also requires the ball. So as he said, he ended up being a weapon. They're using him more as an offensive weapon, an ISO player or whatever, where he really wants to be, you know, the main playmaker, the main ball handler. Also, one thing to note, the NBA is becoming less and less dependent on ball dominant point guards these days. If you look at the top players, Russell Westbrook is a ball dominant point guard. But if you look at Steph Curry on a team that's the most dominant team in the NBA, he's not really that ball dominant. Draymond Green, and I'm not going to go look up the usage rates, but what Draymond Green does a whole lot of the playmaking too, a lot of the ball handling. Steph does some. But, you know, it just shows that teams who have a strong coaching presence and a pretty strong offense or whatever, offensive game plan or whatever, they're less reliant on having a very ball dominant point guard. So with that being the case, even if people consider Kyrie Irving as not a true point guard or whatever the case may be, it really doesn't matter. In a Brad Stevens system, I believe they won't be as reliant on him to be as ball dominant and to have to create offense for everybody, because the system should create a lot of the offense for the other players or whatever the case may be. So that's reason number one why I think he is leaving the Cavaliers, is because he just can't flourish to his full capacity in his mind next to LeBron James. All right, those are my 5 reasons that Kyrie Irving left LeBron and the Cavaliers to go to greener pastures, basically. If you disagree, go ahead and leave the comments below. And, you know, like the content if you enjoyed the video. And also, if you want to join the Hype Squad, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button. All right, see you next time.